Hello, Jason from the Roof Group. This is Joel from JND SEO, and I'm going to show you 3 ways that you could improve your website and actually to beat your competition online. And I don't want to waste your time, Jason, and I don't want to waste mine, so I'm actually going to try to make this video as quick as possible. If at the end of the video, though, you do have any questions or want to hear more information, we can just set up like a quick 5-minute phone call. I can answer those questions for you. And if not, no big deal. I'm actually going to go ahead and give you a bunch of free tips and strategies in this video anyway. So if you have someone that you do work with, or if you guys do it in-house, you can actually show them as well. 3 things we'll cover today are content, backlinks, and citations. So we'll start with the content. So I'm looking at your home page, and I just want to see about how many words of content you guys have. Content can also be saved with pictures and buttons like this, for instance. But, just looking at what I do see without clicking every single thing, and taking a ton of time, you guys probably have under 400 words of content on your homepage. Google recommends having about 1,500. The reason they want so much is that if you have that much information on your page, they know that you're providing kind of a service in a way to the fact that you're going to be educating people and answering a lot of questions and helping them out. So they're going to actually rank you higher for that. The other thing that could help you out is if you had a blog. Those work very similar, where basically they know a blog has a lot of helpful tips, strategies. People love reading them. And they can be a little bit of work to maintain, but those work very similar to the content. Throughout the video, I'm also going to show you another site, which is going to be Lanier Roofing. They're one of the top results in Greenville, South Carolina, and that's where we're actually coming from. I actually found you guys in a Columbia search, but I saw that the area that you service in South Carolina is Greenville, so that's what we'll use as our example. So if we look at them, we can see they have a blog right away, so that is going to help them. But as far as content, they have some on here. They don't have a ton. They have like a decent amount, but I mean, they probably have less than, I don't know, probably less than about 600 words of content on here. So in that sense, because they have the blog, they're probably a little ahead of you. Ideally, if you beat them in the 3 things we talk about today, then you would be able to catch them in the rankings. All right. And, so next up, the other reason though you want a lot of content is that the more content you have on your website, the more keywords and keyword phrases you can actually put into that. So I've just put in roofing Greenville, South Carolina for an example. This one I believe has 150 people who search it every single month, this exact keyword. First thing they're going to find are these ads at the top of the page. Second thing they're going to find is map section, map pack. Some people call it a GMB or a Google My Business. And the top 3 companies show up in this preview window, which helps with people certain who are just looking, and it gets them some more exposure. These show up based on citations, and that's just when you get your business name, address, and phone number all listed together into a directory site. These are sites like Yelp, Yellow Pages, Home Advisor, just to name a few. There's a ton of different ones out there. After the map section, we're going to get to the organic section. You're going to get 10 results showing up per page here. These show up in reference to our keyword, which was roofing Greenville, South Carolina. So we can rank the results accordingly. So number 1 goes to the Better Business Bureau, 2 goes to Home Advisor, and 3 goes to Lanier Roofing. Now the fact that 2 directories are actually the top 2 spots, that's a good thing, because directories are easier to beat than local businesses, because Google actually prefers local businesses to be ahead of that directories, because it's going to be more helpful for them and people around. So actually it tells us, moving in those top spots, they are definitely available. All right, so next I took your website, the roofgroupllc.com, put it into a program called Ahrefs. This just helps me to kind of see where you guys currently are at. I can see you've got your headers at the top of the page here, these big bold letters up here above the web address. You've got your name as well as a few keywords. Next, let's dive into the numbers. So we'll talk about backlinks, which is our 3rd topic. You guys have 105 backlinks right now, and you have about 26 referring domains or websites that you have these links on. So I like to use Facebook business page as an example. So your Facebook business page, if you have one, that would be your referring domain. And then where you put in the web address for your website, for your business, which would be, of course, the roofgroupllc.com on your Facebook page, that would be a backlink. So when you click it, it's going to bring you back to the roofgroupllc.com. The more websites you have pointing back to your site, the bigger your trust is going to grow with Google. So right now they have you at a 20. And that's showing that you're bringing about 19 keywords you can be found for in any Google search. And unfortunately, though, we're seeing that the visitors right now is at a 0 average right there per month. So let's take a quick look at your keywords and kind of see, you know, where the traffic's kind of fallen short here. So the first thing we see is the roof group, which is your name. 30 people do search you by name. That's a good thing. It means people know who you are. And you guys are in the 20th position. So that's going to put you at the bottom of page 2. We know there's 10 results per page, as we talked about before in our Google search. So the way it works is that the top spot is going to usually capture about 20 to 37% of the total volume. And that percentage does drop down after number 1, of course. We've actually found that about 80 to 85% of people will not go to page 2. So being at the bottom of page 2, we can see you're actually capturing 0.09 of 1 visitor. So you can see you're really not getting anyone, and that is actually your highest ranked keyword that we have showing right now. So even though you guys do have a couple of good ones in here, like Atlanta Roofing Specialist, I'd recommend that. Obviously, ones with your name can be important. Definitely adding more based on location, having some for Greenville, having even some for Atlanta, where I know you guys do a lot of work. That would help you a lot to bring in a lot more visitors. So if we hop over to Lanier Roofing, we're just going to quickly kind of see what they're doing. We've got their headers up here, 94 referring domains, sending back about 1,600 links to their site. 325 keywords, what they can be found for because they have a 29 trust. And they're bringing about 244 visitors to their site every month. Just so you kind of get an idea, usually about 100 visitors to your actual site is going to translate to about 20 to 30 phone calls to your actual number. Depending on how much you guys land of that, what your percentages are, generally, you know, on a conservative note, it's about 2 to 4 deals, 2 to 4 jobs per month. First thing they've got is Roofer, Greenville, South Carolina. It's a really good one. This is the best one for Greenville. 400 people search it. They're number 5 for this one. And so you can see they're getting 27 visitors from these 400 to their site. If they were number 1, they'd be getting a much bigger percentage, over probably around 100. So Roofers, Greenville, South Carolina, 250 search that one. They're number 4. They're going to catch 23 of the 250. All right, and if we just kind of scroll down without going through all of these, obviously, you can see there's a lot of top 10 ones, and all of these actually in the top 5, which is huge. The higher up your rank, the bigger percentage you're going to get. And you can see all these numbers starting to add up, and that's why they have the amount of visitors that they have. All right, so now that you guys do have all the information, there's really 3 options, right? If you're happy with where you're at, you're not looking to grow or bring in more customers, you don't have to do anything with it. If you really want to grow, you want to bring in more customers, maybe you have someone you already work with, you can show them the video. Number 3, if you don't have anyone you currently work with, or you're not happy with who you're working with, and you really want to grow, and you understand what I've talked about today, and it all makes sense, you know, we can have that quick conversation, 5 or 10 minutes on the phone. I can answer any questions for you guys. I'll call you anyway just to follow up and see if the video was helpful for you. But thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. Have an awesome day.